And we're calling the meeting to order. Hello, Lorelei. There we go. So, good to see you. So, and I think we are all going to be here. Jean, just for Lorelei's benefit, since she does the minutes, Jean Sill is coming. Joe Knox will not be here, just so you know that, too, for attendance purposes. That much I know, so. Okay, and we have a quorum. As I said, Joe Knox is unfortunately tied up with some other things that he had to get done today he's on the board of directors of Loaves and Fishes also, and they're having a meeting tonight, so, yeah. So he has to get ready for that. Okay. Thank you, and welcome Nicole and Liz and Holly and Nancy from the Friends. Do we have any announcements from the board members?
Well, just
Yes,
a reminder of the little pantry down at the Baptist Church. It's been we've been trying to keep it filled, and it's been doing so for the last couple I want to thank a woman from Acton who came with 21 bags of groceries the other day.
Wow.
For us, so.
Wow.
Amazing.
It is amazing. So we have food, and we're just putting them out as things leave. We put more out. So.
That's cool.
And
That's good.
somebody. Amazing.
I
Well,
know it.
if you see her again, really tell her we
Oh,
really
yeah.
appreciate it.
I guess she's
So-
come quite often.
Wow.
And I just happened that she had 21 bags this time and didn't want to carry them all to the. I don't blame her.
I don't either.
I don't blame her either. Any other announcements?
All set.
No. Been quiet, kind of quiet, I think, yeah, so, which is probably a good thing, maybe. Fall is here and everyone's busy, but, okay. If there are no other announcements, I have to, in all good conscience, remind everybody that this is an open meeting and we adhere to the open meeting laws. And we're moving on now on our agenda down to number 4, where we have to take a look at our minutes of September 12th. And I know there's a few corrections that I've been made aware of, so who wants to kick off the discussion? Anyone?
Okay, yeah, under number 6, the Friends report.
Yep.
If you follow it down to the mention about Arcerio's office, or Arcero's office, that's Joe, says Joe Arcerio. Jim.
Right.
Just that.
Where are we on?
Joe, you were on, but sounds terrible.
Oh, okay, we'll blame another town.
We don't care.
No.
Not through any
We-
fault of yours.
Okay,
We can hear each other.
okay, well, thank you, then we'll make that change, it's Jim Arcerio. Anyone else have a correction? Yes?
On the second page, under number 7, all the way to the end of that whole section.
Yes,
The very end. The very end, it says
Yep.
the Board of Trustees is discussing the tennis courts. I think it should say Select Board. I didn't know who the Board of Trustees were.
Right. Well, they probably got confused from the lessons learned from the library trustees, and then, but it
Right.
isn't the library trustees, it was, you're right, correct, thank you.
Select board.
Select Board.
I wouldn't want to take minutes, just listening to the tape either, so.
I know, I don't know how Lorelei does it, she
I
does a
don't know
great
how
job.
she does it
I
either,
know.
Laura.
I also have one on
Yes.
the same page where it says Marilyn Fidel. The spelling is not correct. It's F-E-D. It's right elsewhere, but not there.
Well, while you're talking about that,
That needs to move.
it's confusing, I think, having that there, because it's in the middle of the
Right.
discussion
It needs to
about
come over
the
here.
senior center.
Yeah.
So I'm recommending that it get moved to the very last thing under number 7, just before old business. Move that whole statement there.
And put it right at the end that you
Yeah.
left. Make the,
Yeah, make the spelling correction,
Right, yeah.
and as well as
because
moving it.
it's right elsewhere, that's why.
Right,
it's-
it just was
It
an
was a
error.
finger hit.
Yeah,
Fingers,
I knew, yeah.
so, great.
I give Lorelei all the credit in the world for
Yeah.
doing this.
I know.
Because I've done minutes for so many years I hate it, and she's doing a
Yeah, I know.
fabulous job.
But I have one other one for Lorelei to catch you. Up under announcements, it's the Congregational Church has supper that, it says. And I think it should say, the Congregational Church hosts the neighborhood supper that started back up in person on Tuesdays, et cetera. That's all. It's, it is not the church, neighborhood, the Congregational Church having the meals, et cetera. It's the neighborhood supper is hosted by them, that's all. Okay.
Okay.
Any other corrections?
No?
Great, thank you. And welcome, Amy and Lucia. Okay. So, hearing any other corrections? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion about the minutes.
I move to accept the minutes as corrected.
Second?
Marilyn moved and Ann Lee seconded. All those in favor? David?
I,
Yes. Joe's not here. Susan?
Aye. Aye.
Aye, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Anita?
Aye. I'll yell louder.
Ann Lee?
Aye.
Lorelei?
Hi.
Marilyn?
Aye.
And Marge is a yes, so, and I, so, okay, great.
Lorelei,
Thank
you.
you.
The speakers.
Okay. That job is done. So, Holly, you're on.
How would you like me to?
Why don't you just come up here and we can,
I've never done this in person.
I don't know.
I've been on a blank screen, so
Oh, see if that microphone is working there.
just as long as you can see me.
Well, you have to be heard by the by the audience, TV audience, that's the problem, that's why,
TV.
yeah. I'm not sure if that's working, if not, we'll pull a chair up
Yes.
and you can use them.
Is it working?
No.
Is
No.
there a little switch?
Is there a
on it?
switch
there a
to turn
switch
it
on it?
on?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Where is the switch?
I don't
Well, it
know.
would be on the microphone itself, wouldn't
Oh, it's on now, maybe?
Do you hear me now?
it? Yes.
Yes,
Okay, I'll just,
Mark, turn to.
all right.
thank you.
Thank you for having me today. It's nice to see you all in person. The Friends have spent the past month in September really stepping up our outreach, seeing as we need community involvement now with the exciting news of planning our senior center. We realize that our little board of 7 needs more help. So we've spent this past month reaching out to community members. We sent letters to churches to remind them of our need to have this be an effort that all of us will be involved in to support the seniors. We met with the Rotary Club to tap into the business market to make sure that, you know, we can solicit funds and maybe combine our efforts in a fundraising effort in the future. So that was really nice. Judy Grandy was great. She writes grants. So these are things I'm not familiar with. I'm new to the whole fundraising game, so this will be very instructional for me as well, and to guide our board in doing some different fundraising activities. We met with the Meeting House Market, and just to scope out that new venue and possibly use that for future fundraising, some space involved, or if we wanted meetings. And she was very amenable to hosting friends or doing things that we want to do in her space. So that was nice. We also met a woman named Lisa Stam, who is the vendor of the Rockin' Studio. And Anita, I want to steer this in your direction. She offered to do a rock painting craft class for you, or to, if you're interested. And I can give you the contact information.
I think
but-
what you should do is run that through Nicole, who's our program director.
Great.
And to see if she has a time. That's
Okay.
not something that
Oh, I thought
want-
you did the Wednesday thing.
I do
or-
the
oh, okay.
Wednesday, but that's
Okay.
not something I want to take
Wonderful.
on.
If you're interested, she is very happy. She's a local resident in town who would like to have a little rock paint. And these aren't just like rocks you painted
No, I've
when I
seen
was
them.
a kid.
I know, they're
Have
beautiful.
you seen them? They're
beautiful.
they're gorgeous. So
And I think
anyway.
they will take more than the 2 hours that my class would run, or hour and a half, to do the kind of work she does. So it's better that she runs through you and you can coordinate whatever.
I'll give you her contact information, or be happy to make the contact, whatever you want to do. Great, okay. We also met with the Tiger Tech young people who help us older people navigate the technical world out there and cyberspace, whatever. So Julie Lord, who's the director at the high school, was very helpful in looking at what we currently have as a Facebook page, and then trying to get ourselves up to speed and look at online donations and things that really people are much more likely to look at now, is things online. So we're definitely moving in that direction. She was very helpful. We have a few more things we want to tweak, but it's coming. So that was good. We did make contact again with our
Cereal.
thank you, office, to find other monies available for the Friends, and specifically to help with the building fund. And when I spoke with Jeff, who is his assistant, he said, oh, yes, we definitely can have money that we can find and make available to you as you kickstart this campaign for the building. So that was good news. But I hope to hear back from him after the election. I kind of forgot that maybe we're not high on the list. He has an election to run, and so we'll make contact after that's over and see if they can help us with some grant writing or some other ways of getting state money that might be available. And actually today, I reached out to Katrina Wilcox Hagberg, who is part of the Friends group of the Rubenhoer Library, which was great advice to not reinvent the wheel, but get people who have actually run bigger campaigns to support building funds and what they did. So I'm hoping to hear back from her and utilize her information and her resources to come up with some good strategizing as we really focus our attention on, this exciting news of this new building and how we can be helpful in that endeavor. Our fundraising efforts this month we did the Amazon Smile, which we did put in the broadcaster for October to show how that's done. And it's as easy as buying stuff on Amazon, and you just put in the Friends of the Council on Aging. We're recognized as a reputable charity, 501c3, and all you have to do is click on what charity, and we come up. So it was exciting that we're actually
Right.
recognized. So it's 0.5%, but every little bit helps. So
That's
when
right.
you're doing Christmas shopping, so hopefully people read that in the broadcaster last month. I actually did a little experiment to see if I could do a Facebook appeal with some of my friends, and I got $300 in a couple days, just saying, could you donate $10 in recognition of seniors? So it works. I didn't really want to do it, townwide until we knew how to operate it. So people are very willing when they can just poke a button and it's easy, and
Yep.
it's like $10, I can do that. So
Yeah.
that was good. Loving Stitches, we plan on picking up knitted goods for the last football game, which is this Friday against West Bridgewater at 7 o'clock. The Friends will hold a booth just to make ourselves out there and support the, football as well, and hopefully people will buy the goods, and it'll be cold enough that they need warm stuff, maybe. And we really are interested in hosting a family bingo night. We not only have bought this new board, but we bought microphones and speakers to really make it an easy to use, a way to enhance the experience for people. And we spoke with the library, and they are willing to let us use their multi-purpose room, which hosts 120 people. So if we wanted to do a family bingo night, that might be a good way of getting people on board that we're going to start generating funds for the building. So that was good. And we can do it after hours because they said, oh, we'll give you a key fob. You just kind of sign in. And so that was good.
Do you have to get a permit to do that? a bingo permit?
You know, Liz and I were talking, and, you know, it depends on if we just do prizes versus money. There's something I have to do if we were doing money prizes or something.
Yeah, yeah. We'll chat a little bit more about that. I got
Yeah.
to do a little bit more research, but I think we're fine with prizes.
Okay. Yeah, so, yep, I got to figure out all those
Good.
constraints. As far as donations this month, we, not only did we buy the bingo equipment, we approved the 2-van trip to the Tower Hill Botanical Garden Holiday Night Lights. So we're happy to do that. There's 2 vans going in November and December, so we will support that. And we also are very happy to support the December brunch for 70 people at Il Forno's at $1,570. So that's all I have. Are there questions, or? It was a busy month so far.
Been really
We just got
busy.
back after vacation in July and August.
Oh, wow.
We're moving
Yeah,
along.
It sounds like you really are
We're moving along.
exploring options and really coming up with some great
Yeah, no, it's
ideas.
an exciting time, and I want that to be our focus.
Yeah, it
on-
is.
On all the wonderful things. We all have waited a long time for this
Yep.
senior center. So I feel like now's the time to really engage the whole community.
So, and do folks know, take advantage of the, you know, letting people know how they can join the Friends to help out if. 'cause
This
I
is a
knew-
PSA.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
anybody's watching online.
That's exactly right. You need to get the word out, so.
A
Yeah, no.
solicitation.
No, because it's important that you have support and you have
Yes.
an active group. Yeah,
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank
Thank
for-
you, Holly.
Thank you for
Holly.
coming and
Yes.
sharing.
Yep, thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day. I know she's running off to another obligation.
Pumpkins.
Yep, for the kids.
Very important.
So. All right. I assume no one has a question for her before she leaves? No?
I do have a statement. I have made 4 cents using Amazon gift.
What's more sense than we have?
I got notice from Amazon, 4 cents.
Oh, okay, well,
Oh, that's a riot.
better than nothing, right? Every bit counts, so,
Well, it keeps building.
yeah.
4 cents is 4 cents.
Yeah, yeah,
It adds up.
yeah, it does, so, all right. Well, that's exciting to hear, yes. And thanks to the library for being willing to work with everybody, so, yeah.
We work with
convey-
everybody.
Yes, she is. Convey our thanks to everybody over there with the police, so we're grateful. So, all right. Now we can go on to the director's report and the staff report, so you people don't have to sit too long.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a busy month. Record-setting month, actually, for our outreach for this year, and we've beat last year already for over 60 outreach. Under 60 outreach, we missed by 1 log, and our event sign-ins, we're almost at 750 event sign-ins for September alone.
Whoa.
Wow.
Which is huge. Thank you so much, Nicole and Amy and Alicia and Sue upstairs for helping to organize all of these things and racing up and down the stairs and going all over. But I had my fancy spreadsheets, but I can't log into my desktop remotely for some reason right now. But it was about 750 logins.
Wow.
The outreach was, I know there was 90 under 60 outreach, and I can't remember the number off the top of my head for under 60 or over 60 outreach, but a very,
Things are
very
hopping.
busy month.
Things are
Yes,
hopping. Yep.
Yes.
Well, you could feel it.
Yeah.
There
Yeah, you
was a
could.
feel about,
Yeah.
I think you could feel the
In
activity.
all the
increasing.
things that you
This-
went to,
So much in here.
you got the
Yes.
feeling that everybody was having a good time.
Yep.
I mean, my craft class, nobody wanted to leave. They just wanted to hang
Right.
around. And they did. They had a really good time and they enjoyed themselves and just wanted to, I think they liked getting together and just talking. You know, there was a group here, then they'd move over here and talk, and then, so it was really a nice afternoon. And they went home with a really good, nice gift.
Well, no, I think you just feel that, I think, and I know I'm fascinated with the trivia groups. I just joined that recently, and that's so much fun. So, yes.
It sounds like so much fun.
No, it's true. Yes, it's a lot of fun, and we've got to, if anybody listening, you got to come to that. It's really a lot of fun. So, great.
So it's been very busy, and it's really kind of exciting to get
Yep.
the positive feedback, and people were really pleased with this last newsletter and all of the things to do in it. I also wanted to highlight our flu shot clinic. We gave out 55 vaccines, so that was a pretty good success. And also when the Mass General Hospital Bloodmobile was here, we got 34 whole blood donations.
Wow.
Which
That's big.
is huge, yeah. We
Big.
had them a couple months ago, and we had more at that particular time, but we had so many people coming early in the morning that they unfortunately had to turn some folks away. But just based on staffing levels, but 34 whole blood donations, I think, is incredible. So thank you to people of Littleton for coming out and supporting that cause. Next on my list is senior tax work-off program update. We're still at 96 households enrolled, 107 people. I have 2 applications in progress, so that might get us closer to that cap of 100 households, so I'll keep you updated on that. November 15th is the date you turn in your first round of timesheets and hours completed, so if you're listening, November 15th, any hours you've completed up until that date, please pass them into the assessor's office. And then you continue on, keep accumulating hours and pass those in November.
Hey, wait, excuse me, just 1 second, while you're on that subject though, and there is an item on the town warrant, is there not, about the tax write-off program, and people should be there to support it?
Oh,
maybe?
it's, yep, just formalizing the
It's
select board
formalizing
vote.
it, but we need that kind of support, so it's a great reorganization. That's what's happened, it's the reorganization of the program, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to get the word out if we can for people to be aware of that.
I think potentially Amy might touch on this in her outreach report, but we had 18 applications received for TRED for the deadline, which I believe is 3 more than our highest number ever, I think. 15 was our last. Yep. So we've surpassed our previous highest number of applicants, which leads me into our financial update. Is we received many, many gifts this month, specifically for TRED, and I think that's due to the board, the friends, our staff putting out the word that there's this program, it exists, it could use some love, some help. So we received $100 from one resident. We received $500 from the Friends of the Littleton Council on Aging. And 2 residents in town each donated $1,000 apiece.
Whoa.
That's great.
Yes. So we were so pleased with seeing the generosity from folks in town.
That's great. Now, the
And-
program needs the money. I mean, the
Oh,
program
really?
exists solely on donations, so it's so
Yes,
critically
yeah.
important, yeah.
Yeah.
And the sad part being on the board, we start off with an amount, but realize we can only give, we have to keep 15% back. So even though we might say we have 25 or 26,000 for 18 people, we can't give all that out.
You have to
And
hold back
You've
some.
got to hold back so that you have something to start with the following year.
Right. You can't completely deplete the account.
No.
So next Monday night, the 24th, I believe, I bring those $2,000 donations to the select board to formally recognize the folks that donated, who are Kathy Coughlin and David Harding, who donated those $1,000 apiece. So incredibly generous.
Thank you to them.
Yes.
That's
That's exciting,
Yes,
actually,
it
very
is.
exciting.
It is. And then last on my list is, well, kind of a combination. So this week, Nicole and I will be going to the Massachusetts Council on Aging annual conference. I touched on that a little bit at the last meeting, some of the different workshops that we're going to attend. This is the booklet. It is full of workshops. I'll be there for the 3 days. Nicole is going for 1 day, and really excited.
Oh, yeah.
I did apply for a grant through Chenal 15 to fund It's a training grant, so hopefully that gets approved. It's a reimbursement grant, so hopefully the cost will be totally covered. So fingers crossed for that, but you won't see us on the end of this week because we will be there bringing back lots of great information.
Those things are always exciting to go to, I think.
Yes.
Having been in that kind of a position myself when I was employed and getting out to, take advantage of conferences like that.
Yeah.
It's nice. It motivates you.
Yeah.
You just get out and get with people and you get motivated all over again.
Yeah, I get to do, I'm the room monitor for the National Council on Aging Innovative Awards workshop, so that's kind of exciting. I get to be in the mix to hear
Nice.
all the award winners.
Mhm.
That'll be fun.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad you're going, and you are too, Nicole.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of nerdy, we're excited about these things.
well, no, it is. So, great.
And that's it for the director's report.
Wow. That's very exciting, actually. It is, you can feel, I'm so sensitive to that momentum that you can just feel,
But you
going.
can also feel Liz's excitement.
True.
Yes.
This is
And
true.
that radiates too.
That's true.
That does
Yeah.
radiate, yeah.
It is, well, I think all the staff are very,
But I mean, just now, even, just talking about going to the conference,
Yeah.
even, and all the.
Yep.
Yes.
right on.
The
Okay.
excitement is there.
So, Nicole, do you want to come up and, so people can hear you? Sorry. I know, I watch some select board meetings sometimes, at home, and if people aren't at the microphone, you can't hear what they're saying.
No, you can't.
So, it's important.
Okay. So I also wanted to just echo Liz's thank you to Littleton and the surrounding communities for coming out for the Blood Mobile. We had 34 donations, but they told me when they were here that the average adult donates 1 pint of blood during a blood donation, and 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. So 34 is less than before, but it's still huge. And so that's something that we're trying to do twice a year, in the spring and in the fall. And I also wanted to thank everyone who participated in the mental health fair in September. We had a huge turnout of vendors, lots of resources for everyone who attended, including the staff. We learned a lot just being there as well. And some upcoming events for November. We have started Monday matinees. Every Monday we're going to be showing a movie at 1 o'clock. We're going to be starting holiday shopping trips every Wednesday to take you to local specified shopping centers so you can shop for other people or for yourself and get lunch, and the van will take you there and bring you back. We have some, let's see what else we have. We have music history with John Clark is continuing through November, which has been super popular. We have the FBI coming to do a presentation on elder fraud. We have best-selling author Val Walker coming to do a lecture on isolation and loneliness. 2 lunch and learns in November, one from Heart to Home and one from Neshoba Park. And the first of 2 trips to Tower Hill for the night lights will be in November. And then just a sneak peek for what's coming up after November. We have holiday carolers coming. We have a holiday craft planned with some Russell Street students, collage making. We're starting a new program called Restaurant Hoppers, where the van will take you to a local restaurant so you can have lunch with people you know, people you don't know, make new friends. We have a trip coming up to an art museum, a trip to Hebert Candies, Super Bowl party, another session of RAD, and a baseball opening day party, St. Patrick's Day luncheon, and an in-house spaghetti supper coming up. So
Whoa.
stay tuned.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. You've been working so hard on planning so far ahead.
I was just thinking that.
Straight through
Yeah,
every.
that's way out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking that's amazing
much
that you
work.
have, but you have to do that, I guess.
You do.
Yes, yeah.
This is the first time we're not going month to month.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to see
Yeah.
ahead.
It's really paying off. It's really showing
It really
Thank
is,
you.
yes. That's amazing. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yes. Oh,
Did you want to talk about the veterans
Oh, and the veterans
Veterans
lunch.
luncheon, we're gonna talk about that later, but talk about it, no, we can talk about it now.
In
It's under
November, we're
special
going
events on
to
the
have,
agenda, but.
The veterans lunch on November 10th, open to veterans and their spouses.
So, actually, I'm gonna just get into the discussion about that. Do you want to do that now?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it would be nice for the board to realize that we need to step up and help them with that event, I think, and it's here in the, if we can. I realize some people work, and we can't do that, but, you know, if at all possible, I think they would appreciate some help from board members that are available to be able to help out, pitch in, and, is that right?
Yeah, Sue and I are gonna lead the decorations, and, so we'll need set up that day in the morning, if anybody wants to come and help set up. And I'll take names.
What day of the week is it?
Yeah.
It's November 10th.
10th.
What day of the week is it?
That's what I just
It's a
said.
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday.
I'll help with setup.
Okay. And then, did you say too that we need servers?
I think we might.
Yes, we can use a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's gonna be at 12 noon? Okay.
So, get in touch with me, what you want to do.
I'll do setups.
You're going to do setup.
Yeah, I do serving, but I need to
Any
be
help
there.
that you can squeeze in would be helpful, I think.
I can stay and do serving too.
And Annalee, you're going to help?
Yeah, I have to
Friday
check,
we're off.
just check to see when my
Here.
physical therapy appointment is on that day.
Say
but-
if I'm off, yes. No, I'm not.
But yes,
It's not that far away.
You can
No, it
sneak over
isn't,
again.
actually. I was saying,
No,
I,
setup's easy.
right.
I've done lots of setup in my life.
I have grandmother duty
Do
overnight
you know-
that night, but I should
do
be
you
around
know, Are
today.
they bringing the silverware and dishes, or are we needing to provide that? Do you know?
We'll be providing that.
We're providing that. Okay. And you're taking care of that.
Okay, so contact person is Anita and Susan, right? Two of you are co-working.
guess I got roped in, yes.
Yes.
I told you you
And
were
I'm-
doing that.
There you go, you all heard her.
I told her earlier that she was
I was
helping.
looking at the calendar myself this morning, and I'm thinking, oh, I should be around. I have to be, you know, house sitting and staying overnight with teenage grandchildren, because the parents are gonna be away that night, but I should be able to be there at noon, you know, for a lunch, so, yeah. So it'd be fun, actually, I think, to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of bounced around a little, but you might, as long as we were bringing up that topic, it was on the agenda for under new business anyway. So, it's Amy's turn. Are you both coming or just you? Are you representing both of you?
A little bit.
Okay, both.
Yeah.
All right, so I think first I wanted to mention, back in the spring, right before the school year had ended, the school department put on a wonderful seminar for parents that offered different classes for people to take about
Oh, yeah.
anxiety in
Remember that,
children
yeah.
and how it presents, and there was discussions around technology, which is when the former SRO school officer Borowski, he came in and he did a presentation as well. There's multiple ones. Teachers have been, you know, signing on and all for it, and it's a good way to get in there and kind of get to know some of the teachers and hear about what's happening at the school, what are they seeing versus what the parents are seeing. And it was just really wonderful to see how many parents came out. I mean, Park and Rec in the spring even had offered free babysitting for parents that might not have the option to have somebody stay at home and watch their kids. So it was really wonderful. They are doing another seminar called Connections, that's what they call it, which is going to be this month. It's going to be on October 26th from 5:30 to 8 at the Russell Street School. So I'm looking forward. We're going to be having a table there to offer some resources to folks in town as well. So just wanted to throw that out there. I'm waiting on the full agenda of what they're going to offer. Beth hasn't finalized everything just yet, so send that out once we have it, and I'm sure it'll be all over their page as well. Fuel assistance time is here. So we are, the application process is, you're allowed to apply until April 30th. The fuel season is from November to April, so you have all this time to apply. So the sooner you get your application in, the sooner they can review your benefits. So I urge people to reach out to us and get scheduled. There's 2 of us now. So
Especially with oil prices going up.
There's quicker availability.
And yeah, you're right,
With
oil
prices
is
and
just
stuff going
so,
up.
so
Get your
high.
application in early,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they opened up Good Neighbor Energy Fund a little early. I actually just received the email
Oh,
before I
okay.
came, because I was a little late, I was reading some new material and I got sidetracked. But yeah, so Good Neighbor Energy Fund is now open for applications as well, which is a program that is for folks that don't qualify for fuel assistance. This is an alternative option for you if you're struggling financially, so. And just to piggyback on what Liz said, with TRED, yes, we had a lot of applications, a lot of interest over the last year. So everybody that had reached out, they received an application in the mail. And then I followed up with them to make sure that they had received it, they didn't have any questions, wanted to make sure I could help them through the process if they needed it. So we got all those back in, everybody made the deadline, we didn't have to worry about that. Some of the folks that I had reached out to, circumstances had changed, so they were no longer eligible to apply. So, but yeah, it was a lot more interest in the program, so I hope that the efforts continue and it continues to grow.
Great.
That's all I got. Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to highlight just a couple other things. Of course, Amy mentioned the smock fuel is in the thick of it right now, so we're here to help with that. And then all the regular SNAP, rental assistance, all of that, just to give us a call. The internet discount programs, there's just so many things out there. So I just want to urge everyone to just give a call if you have questions or hear of something on TV. There's all sorts of commercials now, I feel like, and people will call and just be like, what is this about? So we're here for that. And then, of course, right now, open enrollment has started for Medicare. So Kathy, our Shine volunteer, and myself are here to help with that, so to check your Medicare plans. On top of that, though, too, we can help with Mass Health. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. So public benefits, Mass Health Standard, or any of the other programs, just to check with us with that as well. And then my last thing I wanted to mention is I've had the pleasure of going out to do a couple of food deliveries this past couple of months, and this last delivery from Loaves and Fishes, we had over 80 bags that we delivered, and it was just fantastic. I'm like taking videos of how many not the names, but how many bags we had, and it was just such a great experience every other week that I get to be on now, so I'm excited for that. And
That's incredible, 80?
80 bags, wow.
Yeah,
That's great,
it's a
though.
big
It's
day.
great
It's
that people
good,
are
but it's
utilizing.
Fantastic.
There's a lot of people
Yeah.
needing help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, so we're able to do that, so just
Well,
wanted to mention that.
Things are tough. Food, especially,
Yeah,
is
and-
very
and
expensive.
everything's going up.
We all feel it every time we
Yeah.
go to the store. I mean, it's kind of shocking. That you come out of the grocery store with a tiny little bag of, something that was like representing $40 maybe.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's, so this month is when our budget is due for our department, and we have a line item for meal site and food costs. And it was really hard to try to estimate what it's going to be for FY '24.
Right.
Do I add 20%? Do I add 25% for inflation? It was very, very challenging. So I'm not even sure if I might change it between now and December if they allow me to, if I keep an eye on things.
Yeah,
But
right.
how-
How do you know?
yeah, it was
Crazy.
There was all kinds of indexes online you could look up for inflation, but how do you know?
No. Do the best you can, that's all. That's all anybody can do, so. But, yeah, and the Medicare thing, you see that advertised on TV, you call, and because the people, So I was thinking about that. I see a lot of ads for that when you mentioned that. Yep. Any questions for any of the staff? Great job. It's amazing. Just really is amazing what's going on. And Nicole, by the way, that mental health fair, I thought it was great. And it was a wonderful, and that type of thing grows from year to year as the word gets out too, I think. So I was thinking about that myself, thinking how it's, should be an annual event, I hope. Yes. And certainly, everybody knows there's a huge mental health need out there. Any other comments? then I can entertain a motion
To-
to accept all
Motion
of the
to,
reports.
motion to
Motion to
accept
accept.
each of the reports.
I'll
The
second that.
Report, Assistant Director's report, and the Outreach Coordinator's monthly report.
Okay, and Anita has seconded that. Thank you kindly. Is there any further discussion about that? No? Then we will do the roll call vote. I can't get over not doing that, so it's just a
Well, you-
habit now, you know.
But you have to because you've got Laura Lee on.
I know, but that's okay.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
why I'm
yeah.
gonna do it.
It's good. It's why we can have her that way.
Okay, so, the reports. All right. Ann Lee.
Yes.
Ann Lee is a yes. David.
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Anita?
Yes.
Lorelei?
Yes.
Thank you. Jean?
Yes.
Thank you. Marilyn?
Yes.
And Marge is a yes, so that's a unanimous vote. Thank you all. All right, great, we're moving on.
Good today.
We're doing well, I think, with time. Great. So, under old business, we have update on the senior center project, which I think Liz is going to provide for us.
Yep.
Because she attends weekly, well, she sometimes is more than weekly, things happen, but anyway, she'll catch us up to date.
So right now, we, I think last meeting I mentioned we had put out the request for qualifications for construction managers at risk. In the end, we ended up with 4 applications from various construction firms. We went through the process and 3 managed to get through the process and meet the qualifications. And then afterwards, about a few days later, one of the 3 firms wrote to us that they did not have the resources that they thought they had and they had to back out. So now we are down to 2 very strong candidates for construction manager at risk, and the PMBC and the selection committee for the CM at risk role will be interviewing those 2 firms, I believe, next week. Just waiting on that. Narrowing it down. We did look at, last week, we were going through the building again with the architects and making some small tweaks. I know that we had a discussion about the cost of steel and rising prices of that. So we looked at various roof lines and forms to see if we could bring down the use of steel in the building and the roof. So we looked at different roof lines and different, small tweaks that we could make to the building to make it more cost effective. We're not at the value engineering point yet. We don't need to do that right now, but we are looking at small tweaks that we could make just to kind of get ahead of inflation and the rising costs. So I will keep you all updated on the construction manager at risk, but they are 2 very strong firms that have worked in the town of Littleton before and know all about us and had very strong applications.
Did either of those firms ever built a COA building before?
Not a COA building, but they have built municipal buildings.
Municipal.
Liz, are you looking at solar?
We're going back and forth about solar. So we started, we had just about a whole meeting dedicated to sustainability for the building. So we were going back and forth. Is it possible to make this building net zero? Is it possible to make it 100% electric? So we have been looking at all of the different options and kind of we have a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer who's kind of pricing it out for us to say, here's your upfront and cost estimate for installing solar, and this is how many years it would take to get the return on that. And going through all the different options, if you could do solely electric, this is what it will cost up front, this is how many years it will take to see a return on that investment. And so we're weighing all those pros and cons and still in the thick of it.
The reason I asked Liz was because the library didn't do it at the beginning. That was an afterthought with the library. And that's why I was wondering, are you doing it, thinking about it up front rather than an afterthought?
We are very lucky to have Mark Rombacher sitting in all of these meetings, so he has all of the historical knowledge on building a building very recently and what to do, what not to do, and what we should be looking at right now. So he's been very helpful, and I think he's actually kind of driving the sustainability conversation, which is nice to have somebody who is experienced that way.
Yeah, because I know that the committee turned down geothermal.
Yes, I have a lot of experience with geothermal in my Northborough building.
Yeah.
And I'm personally not a fan.
The thing that's good that you're doing, and I hope everybody's listening, that when we get the final costs, it won't be just because we picked and chose. We took the time, we looked, we researched. So if we had to go to town meeting and ask for anything, we can say, this is what we've done, this is how much we've done. It wasn't just a quick decision. It was really looked at from every angle. And I think that's good, and people in the town need to hear that when we say, this is the dollar amount, this was the best that we could get for what we were doing. And, you know, we're trying to look at everything so it's not expensive to anybody.
Right.
So I'm glad that you're doing all of that.
Yeah.
That's really great.
It's difficult to weigh, you know, the cost of the project versus the sustainability, the effect on our planet, and
Yeah.
trying to balance those two options. We're looking at going completely electric, and then if we make that decision, then we have to go back and remove certain items like our gas appliances in the kitchen, or our generator, or the faux fireplaces we were thinking of having. So every decision has a trickle-down effect, and I'm so thankful that we have electrical engineers and mechanical engineers who know all those details and the specs, because that is out of my wheelhouse. But we have a lot of really strong professionals looking at all the information.
Good. So, did I hear correctly that there were surveyors out in the area just recently surveying?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think there were surveyors.
One day last week.
Yeah.
Because when Dick and I were here, because we park and handicap over there, over by the library, they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
good.
they're
Well, that's maybe,
checking out the property lines, and then I don't think transformer is the right word I'm looking for, but there's some electrical component close to the library, and we have to measure the distance between our site and the library to see if we're going to tie into that.
things like that.
Yeah.
And I see where there's, as far as the tennis courts moving and going, that's been, I mean, there's so many pieces to our building getting done, and tennis courts they have to find a home for the tennis courts, and that's on the
It's coming
town
up,
warrant.
it's on the warrant.
It's on the warrant, correct, so, and they have chosen the Cooper Farm area to build tennis and
It's
pickleball
Yeah.
courts, yep.
And there's parking there, that was another.
Yeah, and that has to happen, for our building to happen, so,
Well-
but things are coming, they're moving along, that's the message I'm just.
When I was
trying
at
to
the
convey.
library Saturday, you should have seen how busy those pickleball and tennis
Oh,
courts were.
They are.
I mean, we can't be without those.
No, and we need more,
Because they're used all the time. Not
3
by
months
me,
ago we were, but
Yeah.
who heard of pickleball?
Yeah,
It,
but
yeah, it's
and we need more than two, actually,
Yes,
I
we
think.
do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need more than two courts, so, but I think people are aware of that,
Right.
and that's in motion, though,
yeah, for town.
Yeah.
Because they want them done before spring.
Well, we want to have our break ground, don't we, around spring? So we want.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
everything's.
everything, one thing affects another, and so it's important that it all is moving along, that's all. Just trying to get that message out. It is, it doesn't seem like much is happening, but it is.
But
There's
there's
a lot happening
happening.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, a lot going on, so, great. Any other questions about the senior center? Updates? No? Okay. Moving on, okay. This next item under old business was, because I said and the minutes will reflect that we postponed a discussion about reviewing our rules and regs until this month. And, it says we would discuss it this month. So, I need to ask the board's opinion and feeling about that. We did make some changes in the rules and regs. We historically, back in July or August, usually go through with a fine-tooth comb the rules and regs, and, if you catch anything that needs to be updated, we do it. But I know we updated several parts of that. What is your feeling? Do you feel we need to do more, or we can let it go until we find a need? What's your wish? We don't want to be in violation of our own rules and regs, but we did have looked at it, and we've made changes to the actual rules and regs. They were made in July or August. If I'm not mistaken. They were updated 7/11, but we've now gone through it piecemeal, so to speak. But we did make quite a few changes. So, are you feeling that we can let it go for now? Or are we to put a plan together?
I think we're pretty on top of it.
Yeah.
There aren't any new things going on that we need to change, and we're not doing things any different than we have in the past years. And we've updated what had to be updated.
Right.
And we've added the associate member clause, so you can have an associate member on the board now, right? Or did we not do
I
that?
don't think we've done that.
We didn't do that.
No, I don't think so.
Did we, well, we talked about it.
We talked about it briefly once, but I do not believe we put anything in here
What is
about that.
everybody's feeling about having associate
Associate
members?
members.
I think we have a large enough board as it is. Because if you get too many people on, nothing ever gets accomplished. That's just my thought.
What was the purpose behind
Yeah.
going with that?
Well, I think if we thought about an associate member, like the luncheon that we're doing, or other things that we're doing, that people who are working, that don't have the opportunity during the day to step in, there would be more people to help, to do things. And you wouldn't, an associate member would not have voting rights, but they could weigh in on, different comments, make comments, but they wouldn't vote, but yet they would be available maybe to lead something.
This is the first that I recall hearing about it, Anita.
Boy, I think
know
March and I.
the Friends had talked about it and did it, but I didn't hear us
No, I-
talking about it.
No, I think
You know what,
March
we
and
have-
I had sort of talked about whether we wanted to bring that up or not.
Yeah,
At a meeting to see if it had any interest or what other board members thought before we did anything.
but I will say, there is one article in here that we might want to talk about at some point, but, because and I have not followed through on it, but it's Article 7, and it says, at the next scheduled board meeting, and that's after the change. The incoming chairperson, with the assistance of the COA board and staff, shall review, and if necessary, revise all committee tasks and individual member assignments.
That's true.
The chairperson shall make appointments to these committee tasks and individual assignments, which we really don't have now. We don't have a lot of individual assignments per se. So whether the board wants to think about that and mull that over and, bring it back, so I don't know. But that is one article that's in
Well,
here.
have you updated with Diane, the TRED committee? So she knows who's on it now, because that's.
No, and
that's
those
changed.
committees, no, I have not I have not, let her know, I thought you had, no?
No,
Oh,
no,
I
that
will do
comes
that.
from the chair.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
I will
Ann
do that right
Lee,
away.
Ann Lee got,
Ann Lee's on it.
Voted in.
Voted in,
And
but
you are,
and you got sworn at, right?
Yep.
and so she
And
knows.
Sue did.
But
Well,
I'm
many
not
times.
from this board. I'm a citizen at large.
There's
You're the
two-
citizen at
Yeah, there's
large.
two
Not
board
friends.
members involved, you and Ann Lee.
Right,
Yes,
Yeah.
and Susan is the citizen at large.
citizen, right.
So, which is fine. But I will double check with Diane that she has it all as a matter of record and everything. I think she does, but I will double check.
Back to the associate member, anybody can volunteer to do something, and anybody can ask a question if they want to come here, and so, I don't really see a need for it, because no one's being told, no, you're not on the board, so you can't ask a question, or, I understand that they wouldn't be able to vote, but
And I
they
think,
can't vote as an associate member either, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
And I don't know.
That's fine, that was just a,
Well, and I think, as far as tasks, it was that board members had to serve on a subcommittee, but we don't have active subcommittees now.
Well, I'm still
Really.
on TAC.
Pardon me?
I'm still on TAC.
Well, yes, but the Transportation Advisory Committee, that's not a subcommittee of ours, though.
Oh,
So-
Okay.
And those are other boards in town that desire to have a COA board member on their, in their group. So, yes. And that's not documented anyplace in here, we just have always met that, but it's never
Right.
been
You met the
documented
requirement, but
in the
it's-
rules and regs.
And maybe we should put that into the rules and regs. What other boards in town ask for a COA
It might be
rep?
good to have it written down someplace.
Yeah, 'cause
We don't have
I'm
to
on that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to put in the rules and regs,
No.
we wouldn't put names because we'd be changing
be
it
a
every
member.
year. But,
They require a member.
know which boards in town require
Right.
COA, because there's TAC, there's
And it's
age,
hard to keep track of.
Affordable
That's correct.
Housing Trust.
And now there's that new tax thing.
The text, yes.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
new
I think that's true.
exploration one.
So
maybe-
we could put a statement or an article in, maybe in that same area, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Does anybody
It was-
want to work with me on that? I can work, and I work with somebody, one or two
I'll
people.
work with you.
Okay, Marilyn?
I think David had his hand up.
I'm sorry, David.
I was
I'm
gonna
coming
ask a
back to you.
question, I was gonna
That's
ask,
rude.
I was going to ask
I
a question.
apologize. Yes, go ahead.
But if you need help doing something, my hand was up, so I'll, whatever it is you need.
I would love to have some, help doing that, because we can put something together and we don't need to spend a lot of time discussing it now. But, so, David?
Sure.
and-
So this would take the place of the other article written
No,
down?
I don't
No.
think we should take that out necessarily, do you think?
No, I don't think we should take it out.
Probably
It could
go
be
in
an
the same
addition too.
section. Yeah.
But put it in the same section.
It's committees and individual assignments. It could go under that, under Article 7,
Yeah.
probably.
But David had his hand up for
Yes.
something else.
Yes,
The
David?
reason David had his hand up
I'm going to
is
sit
because
back so I see it.
we're following down this thing here, but we're talking quite a bit on the review of the rules and regs.
Right.
But we have two other things for new business that I wonder if we could just get out of the way, and then we could spend the rest of the time on rules and regs,
Okay,
rather than go to, till 4:25 on rules and regs and then try and squeeze these other ones in, if they have, some importance here, special events, and
Yeah, we should take special events and.
yeah, we should do that.
just deal with that, and then we can go back to
Yeah.
rules and regs
You're suggesting, right, we'll table it that for the moment.
for the moment.
If that's agreeable to everybody? Sounds like a
Well,
good plan?
Yeah, I agree with tabling it. I think it should be tabled till next month to give everybody do some homework of reading all the rules and regs and see
That's
what
a good idea.
maybe needs to be changed or
Why don't we do that?
ideas.
All
We'll
right.
table
well,
until
that-
next month.
All right, so I don't know if that needs a motion, or we just all agreed to just table it.
No, just
Just-
agree.
Yeah, I think we'll just move it along, and it goes in the minutes that it was tabled again but at this time, people are gonna take a look at them in between.
Yep.
Okay. Fine, thank you. Okay, under new business, board member updates, do we have anything exciting or non-exciting, or any kind of an update? From anybody?
Sue does.
Sue does? Sue has been busy.
No, I have been busy, but nothing new and exciting, that's for sure. Just from Affordable Housing Trust, the two things that they have been involved in toward affordable housing, the land on Tehadawin that's next to Brown Woods. So
Oh,
it was
okay.
all part of that grant and whatever. The Affordable Housing Trust is still pursuing putting in a building along with Habitat for Humanity, a duplex unit there. At the last meeting, and we have our monthly meeting tomorrow night, so this was a month ago, they were going to be looking into funding, because with Habitat for Humanity, you have to have a professional manager manage the project. So we had to look into the how that would be funded, and then like some other costs that would be involved in that whole project. So that's on the burner. And then the other one that is still being talked about is in the Durkee Turkey property, there's the farmhouse and a barn. And they're talking about putting one unit, I think it is, in the farmhouse, and the barn is there as a question mark. It's been that way for months, but it's still there. It had not been officially deeded to the select board, so that's part of the problem. And then septic system had to be worked out or find out what was available or whatever. So there's lots of questions still around that area. And that's it from Affordable Housing Trust.
Great, thank you. Anyone else have an update about anything? Okay. Then we will move on to special events. And we've talked about the Veterans Day event so already, and you know, having the board members help the staff. It is an EHS event, and so we need to be supportive of that. And so we have the annual town fair coming up, and that always that brings up the, I didn't put it in, but the group, the Loving Stitches knitting group, is involved in that, and that is a topic. And we have some really interesting, exciting things that are going on in that group. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? Anybody, Liz, do you want to offer any comments? I know I shared with you what one of our members did with some items, lap afghans, etc. And, you know, so.
I think the Loving Stitches group is being more active and getting more involved in the community and reaching out and branching out and finding new projects and new ways to support the entire community. I think it's great.
Yeah, and we have a member who I told her today, we're going to call her our ambassador, the Loving Stitches ambassador, because, you know, we were looking for a home to take some lap robes to, because we had several, and we thought, we need, you know, you can only have so many for the fair, the annual town fair. And so she said, well, I'll take some up to the nursing home. And so, you know, she never even made it hardly inside the door, because the day she went, she bumped into people visiting residents outside, and they went over and started chatting with them. She knew, I think, one or two, I don't know all the details, but before she got inside and then bumped into somebody else, and she'd given away all they wanted them. People wanted the Afghans before she even got to the director of the nursing home. So it was
cool.
Quite an amazing thing, you know. And so, and then she went to, here's another example. She was at some event recently, and she just told us this today, this person. And she said, you know, I got talking to the police. There were a lot of the police there. And they thought it would be wonderful if the Loving Stitches knitting group made them hats to wear at town events when they were on duty. Either they even, you know, a winter hat, like
when they're on duty outside and stuff.
Would Loving Stitches be willing to do that? Either in black or a dark green or a camouflage. And
good idea.
Isn't that great? And we said today, we'd be happy to do that for you. You know? So, yes, the Loving Stitches knitting group is really very active and very involved, and looking forward to the fair that's coming up this year. So, just that is one of the. But I put it down because the annual town fair really, it's all about that. Historically, the items that the Loving Stitches knitting group makes is put away and saved or given away. Everything we make is given away. Some are given to raise funds for senior events to help support that too. But anyway, it's all donated to an effort, you know. And nowadays, since COVID, it used to be hospitals would accept things more readily, but they stopped. You know, it's like they wanted infant hats for the nursery, and now they don't accept those anymore.
I have a shopping bag of them, and they still.
Yeah, so it's so it's like, you know, harder to find places to contribute them, shelters and things.
Is the annual town fair the holiday bazaar?
Yes, the holiday bazaar. It's December 3rd, I think, this year.
Okay.
And there will be a table there of the Loving Stitches goods. So, okay, and then that brings us up to.
Question
Sorry.
about the annual town fair.
Yes.
Is EHS COA having a table? Like last year, we had a table and had or was it last year?
It was.
You
'cause
had
we
on the
did-
wall.
And
Yeah,
had
we had at the
info
wall.
about the senior center
Yeah.
on the wall.
I'd like to do that again, have a table.
And you'll have new pictures for us
Yes.
to put up.
Updated renderings.
Updated,
Do
okay.
a raffle
So
basket.
Maybe.
when I work with Nancy that Friday to set up the gym, would we want to keep EHS by the wall? Or put us near Loving Stitches? Or how do you want to arrange that? Because isn't EHS, the Loving Stitches is having their own table this year, correct?
Yeah,
Just
I
them?
believe so.
Okay.
It's not a friend's table.
It's not a Friends table, it's the EHS table. I mean, Loving Stitches table. So where do you want to be in coordination? So when we,
Let's talk offline. I gotta figure out if we should be in a high traffic area or let's plan that offline.
okay.
If that's okay.
Okay.
And are we going to need people to support that table?
Maybe. Probably. So,
The
The Loving
EHS
Stitches table.
table, we will.
The EHS table, we will. What about the Loving
See what-
Stitches
and we may
table?
need some help at the Loving Stitches table too. Board members could be helpful. I know Ann Lee's been involved with the First Baptist Chair table, table at the fair too, right?
Do
Yeah.
the Friends have a table for COA there?
I think the friends were talking about doing potentially like a thrift shop table. I think it was, I don't know if it was still an idea phase or a set in stone plan, but they were talking about also being there.
Because that would be one way maybe to combine COA with the Friends and have your volunteers come from both groups.
We can do one of those, didn't last year we did a doodle poll to see who could take a time slot? Was that for?
I set everybody up to work with me at the EHS table. And I took slots, everybody worked 2 hours or whatever. That's how I did that. But I wasn't involved in the knitting one. So I don't mind if you want to coordinate and tell me when you can work the EHS table. I'll take that on again for to set up hours. Just give me a call when you can work.
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay. We can talk a little bit more about this next month. Well, we'll be close, no. Yeah, or November. Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
just get time.
finalize it in
Yeah,
November.
Finalize, okay.
Think about it now.
Okay. All right, so, and the last thing is that it was coming in December, it's a holiday event, correct? It was referenced today also, I think, by Holly. The it's a Elder and Human Services event, holiday brunch, correct?
Yep.
At Il Forno's. And it is funded by the Friends. They, as Holly said, they have agreed to fund that. But it is, now, since it's at Il Forno, it's not going to take as much effort, I don't think, for decorating and all of that kind of thing to have it happen. So I don't think as much board help will be needed, correct?
I don't think.
What's the date on that? Do we have a date?
We do. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I can look it up while we're talking though.
It was,
Is it the week after the fair?
it was in the second week sometime, I think we were
Yeah.
trying to get it, I don't know where it was, though. I don't know, I don't have the date, the exact date either. But anyway, so, I just wanted to get that out for people and for the audience too, to be aware of, to keep your eyes open. It will be showing up in the broadcaster. And it is limited, I think, as Holly said, to 70 people. So you need to, if you want to go, it's going to be a brunch. And it'll be fun, I think, nice. And it's very nice of the Friends to fund this for us. So,
Yes. Very generous.
pardon me?
Very generous.
It is very generous, so wanted to thank them. Because oftentimes, if it's something that, it gets confusing, and I think they need to be recognized when they do support us in that way. So. Okay. Are there any questions about the special events that were coming up? I just wanted to reference them because it's exciting, and I think board members need to be aware, and if you can at all, mark the dates and try to be present for some of them, so, if you can. So, but get the word out, and we get the word out to everybody that they're coming up, pay attention. I know people pay attention to the broadcasters, I've heard a lot of nice comments about the broadcasters, now
And even
lately.
the weekly one is better than it used to be.
Pardon me?
The weekly blast, is that what they call it? Is
Yeah.
that the churches?
Yeah.
The weekly
Even
one?
that-
E-newsletter.
That got changed and improved, what, about a year ago, was
Yeah.
it? It is so much better than it was before the change.
Oh, in the computer electronically, you mean that blast, the weekly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that got changed completely, and it's so much better.
No, that's good.
And Sue and I will be doing our highlight show the end of this month, so we will be highlighting all of the November items once more
Okay.
and trying to get more
And
people.
some heads up for December.
And we'll do heads up,
We
because
do heads up
we've
for
been doing heads up ahead of time, so we'll be doing December heads up. But we will get that done, right, this week?
Sure.
Marge.
Yes.
The brunch is December 14th at 10 a.m.
Oh, good.
12:14 at 10 a.m.
What day of the week?
Whoa,
Wednesday.
Oh,
Great.
oh, no, no, no.
Whoa, that's your lunch, your,
That's craft class.
That's
But that's not until
Okay.
10. That's not
It's
until the
10 in the
afternoon.
morning.
It's at 10 in the morning.
10 in the
10 to
morning.
noon, say,
Is it 10 to noon?
probably.
Well, probably
10 to
Until
11.
11:30.
11:30.
11:30.
So you can have
All
craft
right,
start
so-
a little late.
Let me ask a question about crafts for December. I'm gonna do the centerpieces again, the live centerpieces. Sue's trying to hide because,
No, well, I just realized what
You
you
won't.
meant is that.
yeah,
have to
hello.
set- We have to, along with other people, set up that morning is a
Yeah,
bigger
and that's
setup.
not gonna work.
Well, we'll just work around.
What about, I'm thinking, if we had the craft class, it would be December 7th, which would be the first Wednesday.
I won't.
That would be a good day because we have the carolers that day at 10 a.m. for coffee and donuts. And then
Where?
It's usually in,
adjacent to craft class. Get people in the
I'll tell you
spirit.
what, the
Get them in the
carolers can be
spirit.
caroling while they're bringing in the greens and spreading them around. Because,
Could you set it up like the day before?
oh God, no, they don't. There's, what's going on December 7th in the morning? The carolers.
Carolers at 10.
Yeah, and what about that brain
The 13th.
and balance
what
thing?
about
need
the
that.
Tuesday,
I
like you
think you
did
better
the
listen
other
to
one?
Sue.
Which said,
What about
She
doing
won't be
the,
there.
who won't be here?
I won't be here the 7th.
What about
No, I know you won't.
what about doing the third?
But you
the
will be.
Tues-
I can.
the
What about
13th?
doing the Tuesday, like you did the Tuesday when the rad class was going on?
Yeah, I could do December 13th.
Set it up on the 13th?
No, do it.
Do it.
Do it
You
on-
can't set it up and then
Leave
wait
it.
overnight because the town won't let us do that. They, like if my class is going at 1, I get from 12 to 1 to set up, no matter what the class is.
That conflicts with Stretch and Flex.
Oh, but Stretch and Flex, oh, yeah.
It's a big group these
We
days.
can-
I know, it's almost too
We can
big.
set up and make the brunch. We can do that.
Because the brunch won't be,
Are you around on the 14th?
I think so. I just have to check my PT.
The brunch is at 10 over
But
at
yes.
El Forno's. We can do some stuff up until 10. We go to the brunch. The brunch will be over at 11:30.
We can't do anything before the brunch.
Uh-oh.
Why?
The 14th, there's also something else.
What else is happening?
A lecture.
On the 14th?
Busy day.
Yeah, we got to move some stuff around.
Yeah.
We'll connect off.
Yeah.
Offline again.
We'll have to, you got time to
We got
figure
too much
this out.
stuff booked on the 14th.
Yeah.
I'll connect on a different day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll
You can figure this
move
out.
mine around. I'll talk to you with your millions of things you have scheduled.
Please.
You know, we started doing things last month. We're setting up for highlights and everything, and then it's like, well, I can't go to this because this is happening because I can't go to that. It was
Well,
like you were
this is- it's-
overbooked for
Yeah,
some of the
well,
things.
I signed up for something,
Yeah,
conflicting
and you
things
couldn't go.
recently. For this week, I think Thursday, I can't make one.
Yes, there's 2 things Thursday.
at the same time, yes.
So, anyway, and I have.
And what day of the week do you have off, Jean? Every week. What is your day off, Jean?
Don't answer that.
Sunday?
You could come with me on Sunday to collect the greens and cut them up like you and I do.
Speaking of that, just so you know,
got-
Sandra Cassell brought some bowls and put them on a tote that was, the tote has your name on it upstairs, in the room upstairs.
Bowls?
They look like bowls, clear plastic, like bowls, maybe.
Big
contain-
ones?
Well, I don't, they're medium size.
I'll go look.
Yeah,
I have 5 minutes.
she has 5 minutes. I think we are done, aren't we?
I'm done.
I think you
Now
can
that I
solve
know
this
my life
problem.
is screwed up, I'm all done.
No, well, you can solve the problem about crafts and when that's gonna
Your
happen. We
December
know
is full. My
nothing is-
December's full, yes.
nothing is changing about the Christmas luncheon, brunch at Il Forno, so that's set, so in stone.
We can't change
All
that.
right. No. So, is there any other business that we need to discuss quickly? Because we need to adjourn. So Liz can leave.
Is there any public input?
Do we have anybody?
There is no one in the waiting room.
Good.
Okay, no one loved us today, I guess. Too many people didn't, a few did. So, but that's okay. I can entertain a motion to adjourn, I think.
I'll move that we adjourn.
Marilyn has moved that we adjourn. Did anyone second her?
Sue seconded.
Sue seconded her. Okay. Any other discussion? No? Then I'll take that roll call vote. And we're gonna start with David.
Aye.
Yes. Joe, oh, Joe's not here. Susan.
Yes.
Anita.
Yes.
Ann Lee.
Yes.
Lorelei. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that little one. Jean?
Yes.
Thank you. Marilyn?
Yes.
And Marge is a yes. And we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.